So, welcome everyone to the third episode of Gifted Insights. I am Ankur Chaudhary, co founder and CEO of Belong, and your host for today. So, today we are going to cover a topic that we have been getting a lot of queries on ever since we started working on Belong, which is NRI taxation. So, Indian laws, especially the tax laws, are complex enough for resident Indians. As NRIs, they are even doubly complex with TDS, TCS, etc., thrown in the mix. So, today we are excited to welcome CA Ajay Vaswani. He's a distinguished chartered accountant with over 13 years of experience, and he's the founder of ARAS and Company, which has offices in India and Dubai. Since 2012, Ajay has focused his practice completely on NRI taxation and FEMA regulations. As a result, today he is one of India's foremost experts on NRI taxation and has delivered over 500 seminars on the subject. He has helped thousands of NRI clients across more than 20 countries save money and stay compliant. So we are thrilled to have him here to share his knowledge and answer our queries. So
Thank you.
welcome Ajay.
Thank you. Thanks a ton.
Yeah, over to you. Thanks for joining us today to share your knowledge and answer our questions. Over to you.
Thank you, in fact, for this opportunity, having me here at the Belong meetup. And of course, the agenda today is to talk about taxation around the real estate.
Tax residency certificate, and is it beneficial for capital gains from MF sale, right? And what does it look like? Even let's say if this is something that we have received earlier also, if I have that certificate, how do I give it to the mutual fund so that they incorporate it, or is it on a refund basis? How does it work?
Though we are restricted today for the immobile property, but since the questions are not coming from that angle, we'll certainly take up this. This is a very relevant question, and a lot of people ask me every second day. These kind of questions come to me. So the rule is the interpretation of the rule. I will say it is not a very straightforward thing which is mentioned. So the interpretation of the Indian UAE double tax avoidance agreement says if you are NRI based out of UAE and you are a tax resident of UAE, so you have to stay more than 183 days in UAE, and then you can obtain TRC from the UAE government. I will repeat, you have to stay more than 183 days in UAE, obtain TRC from the UAE government, which states you are the tax resident of UAE, then you can claim for an exemption from the equity-oriented mutual funds in India. So this is applicable for that part. And what you have to do is you have to give the TRC to the fund houses for non-deduction of the TDS. But what happens is this is a very practical scenario, and this has been came into effect very recently. So earlier TRC from Dubai government, they used to issue for forward
On a prospective basis.
on a prospective basis. They have discontinued that part now. So they will give you only for the prior period. So if you have to take TRC today, it is either for last 12 months or last financial year. You have two options. So if I'm in December 24 today, you can get the TRC for a period December 23 to November 24 or April 23 to March 24. These are two options for you. If you give these TRC to the fund houses, they will not accept because this is the past period. They want as of the current date, which is practically impossible. So with good probability, they will not get convinced and deduct the TDS. The opportunity you have is when you file your income tax return, you apply for a Form 10F and you claim for the refund from the income tax department for the exemption in the capital gain from sale of mutual funds.
So for that also, will the TRC be required?
TRC is required, mandatory requirement.
Got it. Abhishek has another question that when you go for employment abroad, I think this is regarding the status, various status, whether you're resident, non-resident and all.
So this will take at least 20-25 minutes. Probably I would request Abhishek to connect on a one-to-one call because that will divert the total objective of the session then.
Couple of questions on property transactions, if you allow me, Ankur.
Yeah, Anurag, go ahead.
So Ajay, for section 54, where we are recycling the gains from sale of a residential property, is there a restriction on number of residential properties in a financial year that we can recycle?
No, there is no restriction as such.
So theoretically, if I've got 4 properties and I sell all 4 of them in the same financial year, I can recycle all 4 of them into, as long as I have 4 corresponding I'm buying 4 new properties.
So you can
Is
buy
that
one
right?
property also. So maybe if you have 4 properties you're selling and I have a capital gain of total 5 crore, you can put one property which is equivalent to 5 crore and claim the exemption. The only restriction available here is in your lifetime you can claim a benefit of up to rupees 10 crore only.
In a lifetime.
In your lifetime, this is not per year. This is your lifetime. So if you have a property which is giving you a capital gain of 12 crore, what you can do is you can reinvest and have a maximum benefit of 10 crore only, and balance 2 crore it is taxable. And in prior
And this 10 crore limit is on a capital gain basis, not on the
the
property sale
capital
value
gain
basis.
basis, correct. And
Yes.
this is applicable only from this year onwards.
Okay. And another related question. So I live in the UK right now. Now, UK has a different tax regime. It has a non-domicile concept. You may be aware of that. Now, that is going away from April. So, for my residential properties, I'm thinking of a suitable arrangement. Can I sell them to my wife and repurchase the very same 4 properties so that the cost of acquisition gets reset to the current year?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you can do that. Only thing is you will have to pay the stamp duty.
But but if I don't go to the registrar office, why do I
You
have to pay the
cannot
stamp duty?
transfer. You cannot go to the. You cannot do the transfer without going to the registrar office.
No, but typically for the properties that I have in Gurgaon, uh, you typically have an agreement to sale with any person that you're trying to sell the property to. It's only for the registration of it that you go to the registrar office. You think it
Unless and
is
until the
absolutely required?
property is registered and transferred, it is not a valid transfer. And
Okay.
probably for the cost of acquisition, then you have to show the money trail also. Because gift is a something different concept than the transfer. Either it is a gift or a transfer.
No, it's not a gift. It'll be a purchase and sale.
Then there is a concept of capital gain where you end up paying taxes also. It has to be structured then properly.
Okay. Probably worth connecting with me with you offline.
Yeah, so probably we can schedule a call and
Yeah.
we can have a one-to-one discussion based on the facts and figures.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ajay, another
He is
question.
basically following the US model right now. So that is the concept.
Yeah. For some reason, the government has made a change, and the Labour government has created a huge ruckus for many of us.
Correct.
Sorry, Ankur.
I'm
Yeah,
aware.
no worries. So Ajay, a lot of people had this question, tax laws keep changing, it's difficult to understand them. So is there a good resource on, how to stay updated on these things? Obviously, for the, more complex things, one can always approach, expert CA like you. But in general, if someone just wants to, keep themselves updated on these, changing laws, like what is a good way to do it?
Ankur,
For
this is
lay people like us.
very good question and very honest question people might have put up to you. See, practically it is very difficult to find all the information in one go. So there is Income Tax Act. Ankur, I am a student of tax since 2005. Today it is 24. 19 years I have been reading this subject. I will be very honest, मैंने आज तक पूरा book खत्म नहीं किया पढ़ के. So this is the vast and the depth subject, and it is very difficult. Then there is income tax, there is FEMA rules and regulations, and then you have to read lot of provisions in together. So there is no one place, and probably the best thing to have is a consultant. And of course, there might be some chartered accountants also joining in. With the all due respect to them, out of 100 clients they handle, how many are NRI for them? So of course, everyone sees CAs around them. Out of 100, you will see that 98, 99% are the resident client, and they are more into the regular stuff for income tax, GST, auditing, banking, and whatever they do. Exceptionally 1 2 3 they have NRI clients, so they don't get very good time to read about these laws and provision. So every time an NRI calls a CA and asks, they will say that okay, I will come back to you. The reason he is saying is he needs to study, he needs to have his own interpretation and come back to you. So Ankur, if you ask me anything today on GST, I will say the same thing, because I have never ever studied the GST rules and regulation. I don't practice into that. So whenever you call, I will not give a botheration to come back also to you, because that is not my forte. So it is very important that you have a consultant who is into another taxation. And that is how I devise this. So this is based on the feedback. So what I do is I work on an annual consultation basis. The reason I do is because I want people to ask me questions. Every rupee that you earn, spend, or invest, you should be asking me. So instead of me billing every time you consult me, I have devised this annual consultation contract, and which was I was referring to you the other day. So this is the
Yeah.
basis of that.
No, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Rehan has another question of general importance, I guess. So these days, we keep seeing news of so many Indian millionaires moving out of India, especially to regions like Dubai and all from tax perspective. So like, what is your sense of why they are doing it? Is it just tax, or is there anything else?
So of course, this is the true that people are moving. A lot of billionaires are moving, and Dubai is the hot favorite destination. Of course, taxation is one of the angle, but considering I have been interacting with a lot of people, tax is not the only angle. It is more about the quality of life. So in Dubai, only 190 nationalities live in. So there is no other such country. Education is good, lifestyle is good, culture is very good. So probably that is the reason why people are moving. Weather is very good throughout the year, except the summer's part.
Yeah, I think briefly we are almost at the end of it. There was a question that we got on the registration form. We have touched upon it a bit, while talking about Gift City, that how it benefits. But specifically on the tax part, if you could shed some light about what are the different tax benefits available
So
in
what is the concept of Gift City is India is trying to attract more of forex back in India. So earlier there was no concept of even NRI account. So it was only the ordinary saving account. And government is like, if we want to attract the money back to India, so we should give some exemptions to them. So that is how the NRI account came into picture. Now, since I have quoted you the forex rate part, so then the concept came in when we are allowing them to be exempt, have an exempt income, and why only restrict to the NRE FD? So to bring in more FDI, and what best than our own people? So the NRIs, OCIs who have the roots back to the country, they are the people easily who can be approached upon to bring in the back the investments. So India growth story, everyone is seeing around, everyone wants to participate. The only hitch is the taxation around the investments that you do in India, and second is about the remittance. So if you sort these two things, you make tax free, you make a remittance smooth, people are more than happy to invest back in India. So that is how the concept was born. What Dubai has like DIFC, Bahrain has an offshore banking, Singapore has that, and other countries. So India is replicating the same. Major of the investments that you do through the gift city are exempt. So what exactly they are also doing is they are indirectly putting the money into maybe say Indian mutual fund. So whatever capital gain you have through investments done in gift city would stand to be exempt for you. So you have dollar-based deposits, you have dollar-based insurance plans coming in. There are good corporates which are bringing in insurance companies coming in. So similar kind of plans, similar kind of returns, though differences it is only of INR and USD to make a remittance easy, and it is tax-free for the NRIs.
No options of routing real estate investments through Gift City as of now, Ajay?
So Anurag, very good point. Ankur, take this as a maybe a memorandum and put it to Gift City so that they can bring in some changes for that. So Anurag, this is a very new baby, and this is a pet project of Honorable Prime Minister. Down the line, you never know, things can come up. So, but I think this should take anywhere between next 2 to 3 years to bring a lot of stability around the investment opportunity. There are good investments today, but considering the expansion of bracket, certainly it will take time.
Yeah,
You
because
never
in
know
India
it will come.
we do have this concept of property share companies where companies do share 5% or 10%
Fractional
of the
investment.
fractional investment. So something like that, if routed through Gift City, could be a win-win both for the government as well as this.
Uh, Ankur, you are the key person now. So there is a good product idea that you should be working upon.
Yeah. So Anurag, there are on the India side now we have SM REITs and all of that have come in. While I don't think those tax exemptions are there in Gift City for these type of instruments currently, but we will definitely we are going to meet the regulators soon, and we can propose this idea and get their feedback. Okay, we are almost at the end. We can quickly take one or two more questions. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or put it on the
Maybe
chat.
if anyone wants to share their experience also for any recent transaction that you have done, so That will help others also.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw at least 7, 8 of us have done a real estate transaction in the last 12 months as per the poll. So any of you want to, share your experience as an NRI? What were the challenges?
So one experience I get on a very usual basis, and that is basically from the real estate agents. What they say is they inform the NRI to declare themselves as resident in India and do 1% TDS, and nothing will happen. So that is absolutely a wrong piece of advice, and absolute no one should be doing. So it is tempting, of course, instead of 12.5 or 1% is TDS is being deducted. But the moment you file your income tax return is, of course, being an NRI, you will file. You will not file it as a resident Indian. So income tax department will come to know you are NRI, your TDS is deducted at a short rate. The buyer will receive the notice for the differential amount. And then at that moment, he will have to do the compliance and the complications come in then. That is more difficult and absolutely no to do.
So Ajay, there is a question. I mean, it was not a question in general, but this is something that we have heard from people that and would like to get your sense, like getting the TDS refund from the department. Is it more difficult for NRIs as compared to resident Indians? Like, what has been your
The system
experience?
has been very good, especially after 2021. So this Infosys has brought in the new concept. It is very good. Systems are in place. People are getting refund very quickly. But what I've seen is if the amount is on a higher side and there is some
Yeah,
complication in your case, so it can take anywhere between 3 to 6 months for the refund to be processed. And especially if it is of course, there is nowhere mentioned, but I presume if any amount on a higher side, like 5, 10 lakh, 15 lakh is there, it will take a good time for your idea to be processed because you are taking the money out of the government now. End
yeah.
of the day, things are not going to be easy.
But there were some news reports that, the department
No,
is
no, but
targeting
honestly, there is
NRIs.
no such
That is
difference
not so.
between resident and non-resident.
Okay.
They
It's
don't classify
mostly, it mostly happens because of the amount involved.
because for resident selling a property, TDS is 1%, and
Yes.
for you it is 12.5. So the automatically amount is on a higher side.
Yeah.
So claiming 1 lakh and 12 lakh 50, that is the
Yeah.
difference.
Makes sense.
Ticket size is increased.
And even though the government has removed the indexation, they have not changed the 50 lakh amount for 54 EC. So earlier the gain could have been much lower, and hence the 50 lakh limit might have been sufficient for many people. Now with the flat capital gains calculation, the 50 lakhs is actually peanuts as far as properties in prime cities are concerned.
Sir, I will give you my personal experience. I have been into this industry for like almost 18, 19 years. In my entire life, entire career life, I have done only 3 such transactions where people went in for the bonds. So that is absolute not a popular product to claim exemption.
Got it. Yeah. We have a few more minutes. Would
Oh,
request
when you
everyone to.
see January and Feb coming in, there are going to be drastic changes in the entire concept of income tax. Of course, there is rumors that direct tax code is coming, but even if direct tax code is not coming, there is a vast changes that is happening. So probably these concept of 54 EC, 54 FN can all be waived off. There is a good probability you never know what happens. So be prepared. Our work is going to be doubled compared to the changes coming in then.
We have a WhatsApp community for all NRIs where we do share information that we get from experts like Ajay, and in general what are the updates from Gift City. So I think the link, yeah, there's a QR code on the screen. There is a link in the chat. Would request everyone to join so that you can stay updated with our upcoming meetups and with all the information that is relevant to NRIs. With that, I think we can close this meetup for today. Thanks a lot, Ajay, for taking out the time and patiently answering all our questions. And I don't know if you guys have taken down his coordinates, but feel free to reach out to us in case you want to connect with him on a one-to-one basis.
All the best. You guys are doing excellent. And special regards to your team. I can see Savitri also there. The other day I was talking to her. So we have Orange City connection, and reading her comment on LinkedIn made me very happy.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have someone from Nagpur.
Great connecting you. So all the best
For
in
all
your venture.
those, for all those who don't know, both Savitri and Ajay are from Nagpur. So if anyone in the audience today is from the city, feel free to connect to them. Okay, thanks everyone. With this, we can close it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you. Bye bye.